Hi, I'm Molly Ann, and most days you'll find me at Southdale Nursery and Garden. I am blessed to work there and to do something that I really like to do, and that's to work with two of God's greatest gifts, His people and live plants. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what you can do with live plants and potting. One of my favorite things to do is to plant up pots for people. And so that's what I'm going to do today, is just give you some little hints and hopefully to stir up some creative juices in you so that you want to go out and buy a pot and come in and get some plants and plant up that masterpiece. Okay, the first thing I want to talk to you about is pots. You'll need to select a pot. And pots come in all shapes and sizes, from little tiny ones to great big ones, from simple clay pots to more elaborate pots. When you select your pot, make sure it has a hole in the bottom of it. That's to allow for drainage of the moisture when you water your plants, so the plants aren't sitting in, the roots of the plant aren't sitting in water all the time. It's not healthy for them to have wet feet all the time, just like it's not healthy for us to have wet feet all the time. If you've selected a pot that does not have a hole in the bottom of it, I would suggest you find a liner pot that will fit down in your pot, and put your plants in that liner pot, and then put 4 or 5 layers of walnut-sized rocks in the bottom of that pot so that the pot is still resting on some extra dry space so that the roots can still drain. If you have chosen a large pot that maybe you'll have to be moving sometimes, I would make sure that I get a pot that has a lip on the top of it. If it's just straight up and down, it's very hard to move, because once they're filled with soil and plants and water, they're very heavy and hard to move. So make sure you have a pot that you can grasp easily. The clay pot always has a good lip on it. The next thing you need to do is go out and buy some good potting soil. Most potting soil comes with peat moss in it, vermiculite and perlite, and a little bit of fertilizer. Now that you've selected your pot, you've got to decide where you're going to put it. Are you going to put it in the shade, or are you going to put it in the sun? That will make a difference in the plants that you pick. Your greenhouse can help you select plants for sun and for shade. Some plants do not do well on the sunshine at all. When you come to Southdale, we can show you all kinds of plants that will work good for sun, for shade, for a combination. Plants come in so many different styles and colors, and the choice is endless. We like to think of the plants as thrillers, fillers, and spillers. The thrillers is the one that gives you the most color and which draws your eye to it. Your center point actually is a thriller, but your plants around it are the ones that give you the color. How do you choose those plants? Choose whatever you like. What color do you like? Geraniums are a good thing for a thriller, because it's always in color. Petunias will give you color all year long. We like to do things in a balance, so it's kind of an unwritten rule that you do things in an odd number, like a 1, a 3, a 5, or a 7. So most plants we do in a 3, and we space those around that center point. And then comes your fillers, which will fill in that space in between. And some of my favorite fillers are Dahlberg daisies. And if ever you see a pot with Dahlberg daisies in it, you can bet I've had something to do with it. The next thing in your pot is the spillers. There too you have a lot of choices. Some of my favorites are basket grass, which is a simple little grass that you will find at Southdale all the time, not at all greenhouses. Another one is Lysomachia, which gives you a lot of extra color. You can get it in a green or in this yellow colored, and it just hangs down the side, and it's quite a attractive plant. I hope I've given you some new ideas and maybe just enlightened some of the old ideas, enough that it's moved you to get your creative juices going and to want to plant a pot. And just to show you how easy it is, I'm going to plant one up for you. I have chosen a pot that's not so big, but it does have holes in the bottom of it for drainage. I have filled the pot partway full of soil, and I'm going to put a little more soil in it. I'm also going to mix a little bit of the slow release fertilizer in it. It takes just a small amount of it. And just mix that in. Never mind getting your hands soiled. That's what hands are for. And mix that fertilizer in there well. The center I have chosen is a begonia. This is called a Griffin begonia, and because it is going to be so big, I've eliminated the fillers. So this pot will have the begonia in it. It will have 3 other begonias in it. These are a dragon wing begonia, which give you a lot of color, and they're very hardy. And because this pot is a little bit smaller and the begonias are so big, I'm going to eliminate those fillers, but never eliminate the ones that hang down the side. The spillers are what really make your pot. This is a basket grass that I'm putting in here, which will come down over the pot. The next one I'm going to put in is a vinca vine. Very popular plant. The neat thing about a vinca vine, you can take it and spread it so that it comes out both sides of the pot. Just stretch it through the pot and it will be hanging out the other side, which gives you double duty for it. And it'll find its way in between the plants. And the third one is another plant that you probably won't find at a lot of places. It's called dichondra. I like to call it grandfather's whiskers because it's so pretty, and it gets long and it'll come way down to be down on your floor. And there it is. Now that you've got it all planted, we need to water it all in. You might, before you ever start planting it, once you've got your soil in the pot, water the soil down a little bit. Don't water it too much, but just enough so that it takes some of the airiness out of the soil and it will sink down in the pot a little bit. I did very little work. I just took some of God's creation and put it all together, and there it is, beautiful. Thank you. I hope I've given you some ideas, and if you need any help or have any questions, just look me up at Southdale.